Hey. That's my friend Marley. Hi guys, I want to welcome you. I want to invite you to something very special. Sure you're aware that some of the greatest ideas have had pretty humble beginnings in garages, funded by friends and family. And I'm sure that many of you realize by now that I'm no longer on Wall Street, but that I've shifted. And some of you are unaware of the fact that I have changed my life completely and have basically become a humanitarian. It started basically in New York, dealing with the homeless in New York City, after whistleblowing at my company, and led to serving at soup kitchens and sourcing bread from bakeries and supplying 3 kitchens and individually delivering bread to the homeless at night with Marley for many, many years. It led to when I arrived in Hios, I quickly looked for something to do, and there wasn't far to look for that because of the refugee crisis here. However, I did almost volunteer at a soup kitchen, but then found a place to volunteer with refugees here. And I spent 8 months volunteering without pay, 6 days a week, sometimes 7, teaching adult men from the Middle East and North Africa English and Greek. I founded a garden, the first such project in Chios for sure, possibly in Greece. I don't know about that, but definitely in Chios. Quickly emulated by every other NGO on the island. Initially shot down by some really bad decision makers, but I had to prove that I proved that it would cost 0, and then they realized how much money it was going to raise because people love to donate to gardens apparently. That's not why I created it. I created it because I know that gardening provides peace of mind and spirit, and that many of these people were traumatized from events that they witnessed in their countries. And I came to know a lot of them personally and heard of stories of an agricultural engineer who had many hectares of land, who had to leave it behind because thugs were coming to him and demanding money from him and his family, raped his daughter, basically forced him to leave for the safety of his family. Everything behind. Very good people. I've come across many various types of people who, in one way or another, had to get out of Syria because of ISIS and had to go through ISIS territory and had to deal with the slaughter of their friends and neighbors and get the hell out of there. And we're talking about people from Eritrea who escaped serving in the army for a dictator for some unknown term, traveled through the Sudan desert day and night, at night, sleeping during the day for 8 days, starving for water, and getting to Libya, being kidnapped by very dangerous people, and being money demanded of them, or else a kidney or a liver, and finding their way to Chios. Or homosexual people from Middle Eastern countries that don't tolerate that at all, finding their way out of that situation. People who changed their religion or didn't believe in God at all, atheists, and were discovered, like a professor who was discovered for his atheism and homosexuality, and who had to leave his country or else face the slaughter that his parents faced as dissidents in Iran, political dissidents. Or the guy who came from Afghanistan, whose brother helped the Italian army in Afghanistan and put the rest of his family in jeopardy. There are so many different stories of how people survived and escaped from Palestine, from Iraq, from all these countries, Ethiopia, Somalia. Some of them economic asylum seekers, not refugees. But who can blame them? Many of our own forefathers have done the same, right? And who can blame them for seeking a better life? Anyway, in my time serving these people, I found that the most important role I fulfilled was as an inspirer, an uplifter of them. Even though we were told not to make them promises, not to tell them things were going to be better, and stuff like that. But I think you know my nature. If you don't know my nature, I don't think it's really coming across in this video. But I make people laugh and smile, and I give them hope and spirit. And that was the big role I served. So people today call me their best friend, their big brother, and they still send me messages and call me from all over Europe today. And it's really nice to be able to call some of these people friends from all sorts of backgrounds and all different places I never expected to have friends from. I mean, you know, I was a kid during the Iranian hostage crisis, you know, and I've been expecting a war with Iran for a long, long time. So I never expected to have Iranians in front of me and to actually like them. These were people who were seeking to get out of there, to get a better life. And that doesn't mean that the people left behind are bad. It does not. It really opens your eyes to the fact that the world, this earth, is just a place where human beings live, and that our tribal nature causes us to choose sides, and we shouldn't do that anymore. We should be working toward being one team, and that's really my end goal. That's my end goal.